Hello and welcome back to the Xbox Hut. It's like, I want to say something funny and add inappropriate humor, but I feel like that would just ruin what I have to say about this game in the next several minutes. Penis. Ori and the Blind Forest is a side-scrolling platformer releasing as the debut game for developer Moon Studios. Of course, the best part about this entire affair is that Microsoft Studios published this game. I know, right? Microsoft and artistic aren't normally two things associated with one another. It seems that's not a relationship to be underestimated. It all starts out so simple as a platformer. You jump, you double jump, and you kill enemies. Sounds like it'll be a soothing adventure, right? Yeah, no. Not only does the challenge curve ramp up very quickly, but new moves will entirely test your ability to string together a sequence of moves that means life or death. It boils down to being a platformer not for the weak of heart or faint of will. It will test your patience. However, and this may boil down to personal preference, the challenge was one of the best things about it. Sure, I may have cussed while taking on some of the more daunting sections, but in the end, it felt worth it. Of lesser note is the enemy combat. It's good, but pales in comparison to the platforming, and with just a few exceptions, boils down to button mashing and upgrading your attack power. Speaking of upgrades, the upgrade system is fairly rewarding, and I suggest actually searching and exploring to upgrade your moves, health, and energy. Believe me, it makes the late game just a little easier when you can absorb a few punches. And yet, no matter how much you think you've progressed, the gameplay variety will surprise you and throw new concepts at you to keep you humbled along the way. Good thing it has a mobile save and spawn system, and believe me, you'll use it. A lot. The credits rolled for me less than a minute over 7 hours at 97% completion. You might think this game is light on content, and you'd be right. And yet, coming in at a full price of $20, it's exactly what its price tag suggests. A tight, short, but sweet experience. And while replayability is a little low, there are achievements and leaderboards for completion times and deaths. If you think you've got a grasp on the platforming such that you can beat the game without dying, the game recognizes your efforts. Of course, much like a recent Kirby title I reviewed, there's one more area that more than makes up for the price tag. There aren't enough words in the English vocabulary to fully describe what is on display. That's the beauty of art, and the reason the saying, "a picture is worth 1,000 words," exists. When done right, it is something that can only be truly enjoyed by the eyes, and that's what this game accomplishes. It isn't without one technical flaw, though. Streaming of assets from area to area can cause frequent stutters, noticeable right from the very start. They rarely impact gameplay, but when a game is this beautiful in motion, the brief hiccup is a little jarring. Nonetheless, this is, dare I say, the most beautiful 2D side-scrolling platformer to ever exist, and may very well be for a while. Of course, it doesn't stop there. The audio is superb, not only in bitrate quality, but in terms of production as well. If you have a home theater system, please do yourself the favor of cranking it up while you play this game. And then there's the music, a blissful combination of both ambience and thrill. You won't be let down by any part of this game's presentation. When I first saw this game, I knew I'd buy it because it looked artistic and fun. Little did I know I'd get so much more. I was instead wowed by its simple complexity and bold ambience. Delivered with masterful perfection, this game will be timeless simply because its artistic value permeates its visual and audio presentation to the deepest reaches of creative power. And while its one technical flaw of streaming stutters may be an optimization issue with the engine more so than the console, there's clearly plenty of RAM, this is one of, if not the finest 2D platformer I've ever played. It pains me to say this as a Nintendo fan, but it's the only thing I need to say to make people understand. Eat your heart out, Nintendo. I give Ori and the Blind Forest a 9.5 out of 10. That's it for today. Subscribe for more Xbox One content patched right into your brain. I'll see you next time on the Xbox Hut.